Yo, what is going on, my friends? It is I, Punk Panther, back finally with another Dragon Ball FighterZ video, and today we're actually going to be doing a short tutorial on how to do rejumps. If you guys watched my movement tip video, I went over some of the essentials, and I briefly talked about rejump, specifically the motion to do it. But yeah, I got a comment asking if I could go over some of Goku Blue's rejumps specifically. So I'm going to focus this video on Goku Blue and just Goku style rejumps, or basic rejumps, but I'll throw in some other ones for you guys, so you guys can experiment, find out which rejump suits your character. So yeah, I mean, specific characters that you might want to look into what kind of rejump they're capable of, particularly, let's say, real quick, I'll show you guys a DBZ Broly rejump example and how it is different from the usual Goku style, cookie cutter type rejump. So yeah, the differences between a normal rejump and Broly's rejump, it does have, the similarities are, you still have to delay the super dash after the heavy, but the key differences are, at least the way I do it, is I delay that jumping medium slightly after that super dash connects, instead of just doing the dash forward jumping medium like you would in a normal rejump combo. You jumping medium, jumping light, and then you'll fall on the ground, and you don't even necessarily have to do that dash jump that's required to connect most rejumps. So Broly's a little different, so depending on what character you play, you may need to look into how exactly to do their rejump. So yeah, that's just a quick example of a rejump, and I'll go over some of these other characters in a moment. But for now, let's go ahead and start with the timing of the heavy and the super dash. After you land the 5H, many of you probably use 2 5Hs or a second heavy in order to super dash. So just for example, if I heavy and I press heavy again, it will automatically follow up with a super dash. That's normally the way I super dash. Some people might use the trigger, but I just find it easier to normally use a second heavy. For your rejump, you're not going to be using the heavy button, you're going to be using the super dash button so you can properly time your delay. So you're probably wondering, well, just how long do I need to quite time that delay? Normally, so there's a small window after you land that heavy to follow up with the second heavy. So if I wait too long, it won't follow up, right? Basically, the window in which you want to super dash is right after you can no longer follow up with the second heavy. I know that sounds weird, but basically, in order to follow up the super dash for the heavy, you have to press it pretty quickly. I'll try to delay the second heavy and see just how long I can get that delay. Let me give it a shot. So yeah, I tried to delay it there, and I took too long. Yeah, even then, that was pretty tight for needing to go for a rejump. So like I said, just after that window closes for being able to press the heavy twice is when you're going to want to super dash. Just about the time they hit the wall. Maybe just slightly before. There is some leniency there depending on how tight you're able to do that dash jump, but the better delay, the easier time you'll have. So what we're aiming for is to try to get them low enough to the ground to make that rejump easier to connect. So now let's get into some of the more difficult mechanics of the rejump. So after you time that delay and that super dash, now what you're going to have to do is, once that super dash actually connects, you're going to have to do a dash forward, immediately dash forward, jumping medium. Now I'm specifically talking about Goku Blue, basically every other Goku except GT, even Vegeta's. I think all the Vegetas are pretty much capable of this style of rejump, even though it's a little more difficult for them, I think. But yeah, generally you're going to have to do a dash forward, jumping medium immediately after the super dash connects, and it'll look something like this. I missed it. It's kind of difficult to do off a raw super dash, but it is possible. You can actually get a full combo off a raw super dash if you do it quickly enough, even though I don't think it's very viable for actual play, but I'll try to give you guys an example. Okay, that took me a load of tries. So yeah, I mean, if you have the right angle and you're really good at timing your rejump, maybe you can land it. It's entirely inconsistent, but it's still neat, and that's actually probably a pretty good way to practice your rejumps, at least getting that dash forward jumping medium down. I wouldn't try to get your rejumps down that way because, one, it's very difficult, two, it actually might be kind of bad for your muscle memory. But once you get the normal rejump down, that might be something worth just trying for fun and might make you a little better at doing those dashing jump mediums. But I don't know. But yeah, I just mostly wanted to show you that's an example of basically what we're going to be doing after the 5H. So I'll just go ahead and mention real quick, one good advantage Goku Blue has where he can capitalize off his 5H is that his 5M is really good. And usually in order to combo off the 5M, you're going to be doing, 5M, 5M, follow up, 5M, 5M, 5H into, a horizontal combo. So Rejump is, nice to have in case that situation ever arises. I probably don't need to explain the advantages of keeping your combos low to the ground, but also, it's good for just comboing off your assists and extensions and whatnot. So yeah, let's get into the part 2 that I was talking about, the jumping medium. So just to go further in depth with that, I'll do a quick recap. So 5H, delayed super dash. You're going to be manually inputting the super dash. You can try timing it with 5H, 5H. See how long you can delay the 5H so that the super dash doesn't come out. And that's about the window you need to press super dash. I know that sounds kind of weird, but it makes sense to me. So 5H, super dash, dash forward, jumping medium. And let's go ahead and put that all together real quick and just let you guys see what that looks like. So yeah, that dash forward, jumping medium, puts you on the ground so you're able to jump quickly enough to extend. Otherwise, if you don't do that, you're just going to stay up in the air and you won't be able to land on the ground. So that's why we dash forward very quickly after that super dash connects. So on to step 3, which is probably the most difficult input of this combo, of this tech, is the dashing forward into the jump. Now that's something you're just going to have to really practice and get down to get the muscle memory down. Like I mentioned earlier, I mentioned in my movement tips video, this is actually, it's really good just to have even in neutral, because you can really cover a lot of ground with this tech, I'll call it. But yeah, just a quick dash into a jump, you're going to be doing it really quickly in order to connect the rejump. But it's also just good basically anywhere. If you're good enough, I'm not, you can even do like a super jump. You can cover so much screen space, and if you're really good, you can even like super jump into a dash, float, and do some crazy mix-up, but I'm not that good. So yeah, another quick recap. So you're going to 5H, delay the super dash, dash forward, jumping medium, then you're going to do your dash jump, which is just, like I said, it's just a, double tap forward into, a diagonal upwards to a jump. Technically, if we're facing right, if you're talking in numpad notation, it would be a really quick 6-6 into a 9. So you're just going to do 6-6-9, and that will give you enough speed and height in order to connect the jumping light. So yeah, let's put this all together real quick. Obviously, after jumping light, go into your normal combo, put it all together real quick, and see what we have. So yeah, there's a nice basic rejump combo for you. Just did 5M, 5M, 5H, but you can do it off of raw 5H, anytime you 5H obviously. Also, if you notice in that rejump I just did, that super dash, I kind of delayed it not quite long enough. I could have delayed it longer, which would have made the rejump a little easier to connect. But once you get that motion down at 6-6-9, I mentioned, or if you're facing left, 4-4-7. Once you get that down, that muscle memory, you can almost do it off of no delay at all. The game had enough magnetism. Yeah, there is some leniency. You don't have to perfectly time the super dash, but it does help how long you delay that super dash. Yeah, let's say you don't delay the super dash at all. It's still possible to connect it. It's still possible to connect it, even if you delay it only a fraction. It's just very difficult, and you have to be a lot better at doing the jumping motion. But the more you practice this, the more you'll get it down. I never thought I'd be this good at it. I had a lot of trouble with this when I started with it. Just the more I practiced it and got it down just one day, it just kind of clicked. Definitely just keep practicing. And I'll give you an example. If you don't delay the super dash, how you're able to connect it, but you're not able to quite follow up. Okay, well I stand corrected. I guess you can follow up without delaying, but delaying does make it easier, and it's probably just because Broly's a big body. It's definitely better to delay even if it's only slightly. Let me try it with Vegeta and see if I can still connect it with no delay. So yeah, like as I was saying, we were able to connect it with Broly because he's a big body, but for characters smaller, that'll happen. So yeah, it's better just to delay even just a fraction. The better your delay, the easier it'll be for the most part. So yeah guys, I think that's pretty much it. It's fairly simple tech. It just takes some time to get used to. But once you get used to it, get that muscle memory down, it is super easy. You'll basically be able to do it instinctively. Alright guys, so let's do another quick recap, listing all the inputs, and then I'll give you guys some variations of rejumps and different combos that you can do as well with other characters. So here we go. So you have 5H, delayed super dash, let the super dash connect quickly, dash forward, jumping medium, you'll land on the ground, do a quick dashing jump into a jumping light, and from there you can continue your combo, 2H or whatever your ender might be depending on the character. So yeah guys, that is basically it. This is basically a universal rejump. Most characters have a rejump like this, except characters like Broly, for instance, like Vegeta. He can do it. So you can see how good that is, especially with Vegeta, who can super dash after his Kai Blast now. You even have a G2 Goku, but only in the corner, dashing forward and doing a jump H, and it looks something like this. He can do it after 5H, or basically any smash. Even characters like Yamcha have a rejump if you try hard enough. Yeah, that rejump isn't really optimal, but it's still fun. If you guys really want to challenge yourself, you can even do a rejump with Gogeta. So yeah, that's a really fun one. You can even connect it with 5M if you're in the corner, but it's very difficult. And lastly, if you're specifically watching this video for Goku Blue and you want to really put your loops and your rejumps to the test, you can even try this. Oops. Well, I missed the Dragon Rush, but I nailed everything else. So yeah guys, I think that's pretty much everything. I hope this video was insightful. I am not the most informed when it comes to this game, so you really need to explore and see what's optimal and what works best for you. And definitely check out some other people and kind of explore, educate yourself. But, coming from a noob, at least somebody who started this game as a noob and had no idea how fighting games worked, hopefully I was able to shed some insight, and I hope you guys were able to learn from this video. So yeah guys, like I said, that is going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I very much appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was educational. And don't worry guys, I'm still doing FighterZ content. I know I've been slacking and doing some other stuff, but I'm still very much a FighterZ channel. Just stay tuned. I'll be sure to hop into some matches here, hopefully shortly. If you guys like FighterZ content and you can't get enough of it, feel free to subscribe or stick around. But again, yeah guys, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Hope you have a good one. Hope to see you in the next one. And of course, as always, God bless.
I love it. Please subscribe.